Sports betting brother, and hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd, sports betting market analyst with OddsJam.com. We teach you how to bet like a pro. Today's topic is, what are the top 5 bet types that beginners can use to make money in the NFL? I think it's a good place to start. So today's video will have the top 5 to get started, and then tomorrow we'll have a video on the top 5 that you can supplement and use afterward as you build up your experience level and get to know the markets a little bit better. So let's talk about the first step first, the top 5 for beginners. All right, guys, before we get to the top 5 bet types for beginner sports bettors in the NFL, I want to remind you that we're offering up a free one-on-one phone consultation. If you leave me a note down below, we'll do a one-on-one call to cover all the bases of where you're located, what you have available, what your sports betting goals are, and to help you understand if the OddsJam tools are right for you, because certainly want to make sure that's a good fit. Again, if you already know that and you want to move forward, use Boyd, BOYD20, when you sign up at OddsJam. It's going to save you 2 months, 20% off of the first 2 months when you open that up. What a better time to do it here during football season, basketball right around the corner. So kind of hitting the sweet spot here of the time of year for all those value add things. So again, happy to meet with you one-on-one, do a quick phone consultation, give you some guidance, give you some insight on getting yourself structured, and please do so. Take advantage of that time. All right, guys, bet type number 1 would be player props, what I would start with if I was a beginner in the NFL. And the reason is because the player prop bets are things like, passing attempts, rushing yards, catches. The markets are very diverse and there's a lot of them. So the coverage for the sports books is very difficult. You can see here the player props markets here with OddsJam. And they also have another fantasy optimizer where it gives you the opportunity to separate this all out and to literally get, the particular player under in the receptions. It gives you the odds, the data that's provided to go to the sports book and apply this and find value. You can see here that if you can find value by using the tools, that's a great place to start to kind of pick off some easy winners and really get into the markets in depth that you can follow, and we'll be able to get some easy winners under your belt before attacking the mainline markets. And so using these tools, the various sports books, giving you the best line, the best sports book is a great place to start. And it's very simple, very easy, and you don't have as much complex things happening or have to happen in order for you to be a winner. Next up is probably Moneyline. Moneyline is right here, the odds in the odds screen here with OddsJam. You can see all the different pluses and minuses. Again, to review real quick, minus is the favorite, and so the payout of the odds here is minus 113, means that you have to risk $11.30 to win 10. Or if you're at Typico, you have to risk $12.50 to win 10. So you can see the advantages of having all the prices here for you with the sports books that OddsJam provides, so you can go to the sports book and get the best deal. Now, Moneyline again means just pick a winner. If you take the underdog, you have the plus odds. So again, that's the number you want to be the highest. So in this case, you go to Circa if you wanted the Ravens, and you get plus 130. My concept is always, would you rather me pay you $130 like this based on a $100 bet, or would you rather me just pay you a little bit less at $120? So the underdog with plus money means you get the odds payout as such. And of course, if you're taking the favorite, you want the lowest possible number on the minus side to get the most value out of that. But again, money lines, just pick a winner. Now, next up we have point spread. Point spread is another mainline type bet. Okay, the mainline bet is money line, point spread in total. And here again, this is where you have to have the score, the final score, hit certain parameters in order for you to win. But you'll notice too, the odds are minus 110, minus 110. You got a little bit of a difference here, minus 113, minus 107. They're usually pretty close, and that's what you want to find value in, is you want to have the best line with the best odds, and that's what OddsJam does. It provides this information for you so you can identify if you want the Browns, the best line on the point spread is minus 2.5, minus 110 at Superbook in this particular scenario. The lights here, the color-coded green and red, indicate a price change, and this market's always moving. These markets are always adjusting in the cost or the odds or the line itself as far as the point spread. But the point spread is another pretty easy one. The key here is understanding in the NFL key numbers, 3, 4, 6, 7, sometimes 10. But those are the key numbers that you want to monitor and keep an eye on, because certainly minus 1 is tremendously different than minus 2.5. So that's why you'll see a plus odds here. It's a little bit different pricing. But you really want to factor in the best of both worlds, where you want the best line, but you also want the best price. Okay, so that's point spread. That's probably next in line after the simplistic money line, where it's just pick a winner. You don't have to worry about points covering or points, needed to make sure the bet wins or loses. Even though the odds are tremendously different as far as payouts, I would rank that as probably the third position. Now, next up, we have totals. Totals are basically over-unders, and it shows you here the final score, combined final score. In this case, it's 54 of the Dolphins-Bills game at this particular sports book in this particular scenario. Sometimes they're a little bit different, as you can see across the board. But basically, you combine the scores, the combined final score at the end of the game, and if you think that combined final number is going to be over or under the posted number here at the sports book, you would win your bet. And contrarily, if this final bet ends up at 45, the under 0.5, the under 45.5 would have been the winner there, because the hook, the extra half a point, is called a hook, whether it's in the point spread or the total. So one nice thing about OddsJam is it shows you the markets. It shows you the direction of the markets. And so you can see over the course of time how the markets have moved. You can check out injuries, weather, all the details are here to look up and identify what may have caused a price change. These are the players here that different status as far as injuries, but all the details you need to understand when and why the market moved is right here. And in totals, you kind of have to have two things happen. If you have an under or an over, you need to make sure that both teams are going the direction that you think they're going to go, because sometimes you can just miss just under or just over if one team doesn't perform the way you anticipate. So that's one thing to consider in regards to totals, which is why I have in the fourth position out of the top 5 beginner bets for NFL players. The last one I'm going to use here in the top 5 are alternative markets. And alternative markets are similar to the main market bets in that what you can do is use odds that are higher or lower than the mainline markets. And what I mean by that is you can actually place wagers on totals in teaser bets. You can adjust your odds and go up or down the scale in your bet and say you'll take a higher number or a lower number at a higher risk or a lower risk. But if you feel like you have some cushion and some room there, you can get better odds. And so alternative lines are going to be something that you can really take advantage of. And I'll show you an example here coming up next. All right, so the fifth one I mentioned is alternative lines. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's just randomly pull up a game here. I'm going to hit this Buccaneers Saints game, and we're going to open up the screen. And you'll see the mainline bets, the money line, the point spread, and as you scroll down, you'll see the markets for the over, the current market price for the over, right around 40.5. So what happens here is you can open these up and get alternative lines, which means these sports books, again, that's like an options trading. You can go up or down the scale here to get a better or worse price based on your risk factor. Okay, so here we go again at 40.5 is kind of the market price. The current market price is hovering right in that middle range there. You have some books are at 41, but for the most part, you're right, 41, 40.5. And as I mentioned, alternative prices, if you scale down here, you can see what is offered to look at as a potential wager. So as we scroll down here, you can see the numbers 26, 27, 28. We're getting closer and closer to the mainline market. And as you get closer and closer, the odds are going to change. You're going to have different bets where you can take advantage of these. And so what I'm saying is, as you get to the mainline number, this 41, 40.5, as you can see, there's opportunities to even go over 42. So you'd have plus odds, a little higher odds. If you think it's going to be under, you're positioning yourself at a higher number with a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of insurance. So your payouts are a little bit worse. Let me scroll up so you can see that. So again, the higher you go, the worse odds for an under, and the lower you go, contrarily, the worse odds for an over. But again, sometimes you can anticipate that maybe taking an under 37, kind of a key number, and scoring 37 at plus 160 is a good value and something you want to take a look at. So you can use the OddsJam numbers, the OddsJam prices to find value. Certainly if OddsJam is at minus 147, your goal is to be under that or better than that. And so you can use these charts and these graphs at OddsJam to find value in the market. When you have the market-making sports books telling you their price, if you can find an outlier that's giving you a better price, that's what you're trying to do, and that's what you're trying to find. So using these tools to identify value is really what it's all about. But these are alternative markets, kind of like options trading, up or down the scale. You can use this in point spreads. You can use this in many different other types of markets, but that's something you may not have thought of, but it's kind of a cool thing to use as well. And that's why I have it in the fifth spot for beginner NFL bettors. All right, to those who watched the video, hopefully you came out with some value and understand where to begin, where to start. Maybe if you're just getting going in the NFL betting markets, and get some tips out of this. As always, Bet School here at Betting Education, try to bring you videos to help you with your ROI, using the tools, using the data-driven information at OddsJam. So again, appreciate you viewing, and make sure you tune in to watch more videos just like this to get your betting education and learn how to make mathematical money.